217? Yes, it is. Welcome, everybody, out there to Divorce Devil episode 217, I think. Yes, record. Yes, it's on it. Today, we're talking about boundaries, something simple that people don't realize that they have control of. That's one of the small things you can take care of in your divorce recovery or during your divorce. You can go ahead and start to create boundaries.
Yeah.
So what do you think?
Welcome to the Divorce Devil Podcast, a show tailor-made for those stepping out of the divorce recovery space. Follow your hosts, David and Rachel, as they dive into the all-too-familiar shitstorm of the more than interesting end-of-the-road divorce topics, stories, and discussions. While realizing it can be a trying stage, they have been where you are and understand the struggle. And yes, the struggle is real. They know that recovery can be such a clusterfuck. Check out the podcast if you feel like you're juggling chainsaws, then strap in and hold on for some honesty, authenticity, and hard-in-your-face irrefutable truths. This innovative podcast is not for the faint-hearted, so if you can't handle the certain truths, just keep it moving. If you can, welcome to the show.
I think one of my favorite is learning that no, we say it all the time, is a complete sentence. No. But you don't need an excuse why it's no. You don't need to make up a story of why it's no. You don't need to reiterate all these times like, I said no, and then I actually didn't mean yes, I said no. And I think that took a lot for me to be like, no, because I left too, because I was finally like, okay, that's fine, I'm done.
Yep.
You won't leave, so I have to. I was really trying to make nice. Because I kept getting it thrown at my face like, oh, you left us, you abandoned us. Like, no, I didn't. I still had space available for you to be where I was. But I'm not in the same house where your main bedroom is. I'm not in the same house that our dogs were still in. I think saying no was too much of a power struggle and it felt controlling and I didn't want to be seen as that. So that was a big issue for me.
So what do you tell somebody who's just starting their divorce's final, and what are some of the boundaries they need to set right away?
I think you need to know what you will and will not accept.
So communication boundaries.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's limits to especially if you guys are at that I hate you point.
What?
You need to be I think when you have kids, you go through that parenting thing here in Colorado that you have to watch this stupid video that's so outdated. And there's an app that you can use to discuss things with your person. If you're there, get on that app. Because everything is the courts can see. So it holds people accountable to be mature or respectful. Not that it doesn't happen where it might get away from you, but I think you need to say, okay, I'm only going to communicate via this text. Because when we don't and it's personal, you shoot for the jugular. And I really think that communication in the beginning is really what will help that relationship, because you have to co-parent further down the line.
If you're going to shoot for the jugular, man, go for the gusto.
Well,
but when you start that communication boundary and you don't know how to start it. No. So just start small steps. Hey, I'm not going to put up with that. We talk about the K in texting. Keep your text short.
Yeah.
To the point. Bam.
We've all been to the point where we wrote a freaking novel and we shouldn't have sent it.
Yep.
And we did. Because early on, you're like, fuck you, you fucking fuck. Here's what I fucking think.
Yep.
Hopefully you're not like that. But I think what that does when you're like, okay, you can vent to the wall, vent to your friends, vent to the things. But the amount of venting, it just makes people resentful. And then when it comes time for custody and all things, and you were doing this, or you were out until this night, or when you don't have your kids, you're doing this, and blah, blah, blah. It keeps the communication and the expectations of the other person and yourself accountable. And I think it can get to the point too where when you're communicating, there might be you're supposed to drop the kid off at 6:00 and you're late every single time. So that means that, are you dropping them off late or do I still get them on the time that I'm supposed to? Because we all want equal time with our kids, right? So I think that's a big fight. That can also go into time boundaries. I'm not going to respond to any messages after 7 p.m. If you need me and it's an emergency, whatever. But our communications need to stop because I need to shut off my brain because I can't function.
We're not married anymore. I get space in my brain all day like you used to.
So if your day that you don't have your kid is every Wednesday and Thursday, you're like, every Wednesday and Thursday, I'm doing self-care so I can prepare to be the best version of me, especially when you're in the beginning. Unless it's a dire emergency, don't communicate with me. And a lot of times we need to make that boundary because one person or both are trying to control the situation that I'm right, you're the problem, you're the problem, you're the problem. So I think there really comes a lot of
How do you control the mixture of control and boundaries? See, that's a fine line sometimes.
I think the more consistent you are, the more you're like, okay, this is what we're doing. This is how we do it. Like my son now has a hockey camp. It's Tuesday and Thursday nights. Tuesday nights are my night. Thursday nights dad's night. If his dad can't take him on Thursday night, I'm expecting that the following Tuesday he could take him because it's late at night and it's a half an hour drive one way. And so I think what that sets up is we're equally in it. We equally created this child. We equally have this, especially if you're expected to pay child support or alimony or whatever. You want to know, hey, if I'm doing equal, you're doing equal. If I'm doing this, you're doing.
So what do you tell the person that has a antagonistic co-parenting situation or space? How do they handle it?
I see it daily. There's a person in our office that like they're just so angry at the other person that they're not together anymore that it literally is a complaint fest all day. But what's happening is it's spilling over into the child, and the child's like, I'm making my parent inconvenienced because I want to see my other parent.
So what do you tell that parent? Say, hey, chill. Or what do you tell that
parent?
parent?
Just go, really? This is your kid? Why are you fucking complaining all the time? But who am I? I don't know this other.
You are a divorce devil.
Exactly. And I try, and I think the person that is doing this at my work isn't mature enough to understand.
Maybe they're not ready to listen.
They're not. Yeah, there's no. This person is very. It's my way or no way, and anything I say as a much older person, a different generation,
old person.
Yeah,
you're an old person.
This person, parents have done everything for them. Finally, just moved out of her house. Her one of her children is much older, and it's like she expects everybody to still do for her all the time. And it was like, this is your child. You need to parent your child, and if driving to wherever you need to drive is an inconvenience for you,
it's part of the process.
That's on you. It shouldn't be put into the child's realm of thinking. So what about the other person? And guess what? This is part of your parenting plan, and somewhere you agreed to it. So,
wow,
suck it up, Buttercup, and do your thing.
What if you have a co-parenting situation where, and I've seen this too, where it's like a roller coaster. Oh. One day it's great, next day is a shit show. One day it's great, shit show. What do you suggest to counteract that? I remember early on, I met someone, and this is a dating situation. I met someone, and he obviously had bipolar. Of course he did. You met him. Exactly. And it was everybody else's fault. But the more I got to know him, and again, know him, like not date him, it was obvious it's everybody else's fault. But he was the issue. He was the problem. And I think because of the mental health issue, it was really, you need to get yourself right before you start bitching and complaining about other people. And the only person that's being affected is your child. So I think what happens is when one person is, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, blah, blah, blah. There's two sides. There's actually three sides to every story. His side, her side, and then the truth and what actually happened. And we don't have a life a rewind button to actually see the footage of our lives. And there's times where like, I was an asshole. Like, I'm just like, no, I'm not doing that. You pissed me off today. I'm not going the extra step. You did that. You hurt my feelings. So now I'm not going to do anything to help you out. There's one thing that we hardly ever talk about, and I don't think we ever talked about it. And I learned this from a guy named Jeff Colez in the Pick the Scab Podcast just the other night. He says the first step is to gain separation mentally and physically. Yeah. And I think you can't set boundaries until you get to that point. Yeah. And I think a lot of people have one toe in because, we got kids together. They have to be nice to me. No. And I think one of my big steps was going to get my own bank account
because I'm from the generation, you get married, you share the thing, you don't have your own separate thing. Yeah, I had a credit card, but we both had access to it. Yes, I had checks that had my name on them, but we both had access to it. Going to the bank and getting my own bank account was one of those, oh, this is real.
Mine was more getting her off the office account and getting new checks without her name on it.
Yeah.
So kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think early on I had to get a new car because mine had a lot of miles on it.
How did you get the separation?
The first time it was only my credit score that was checked. Like my credit determined what it was fucking terrible. But I was like, oh, I'm gonna make this better. It's on me to make it better. I can't rely on anybody else. I can't do that. Or the times where he's traveling and I'm actually the single parent. I'm having to run 17 places. I have to do this. I have to do that, blah, blah, blah. And it was really like when you're in a marriage, you have that, oh, wait, I don't feel good. Can you pick him up from baseball? Yep. I don't do. No, it was all on me. And I haven't ever had that because I was in a marriage. Like I've had my kids in my marriage. I had that person that mostly I can rely on if I need it. And now if I had a migraine, I was still having to go to ice hockey. If I had a migraine, I still had to go to baseball.
So how do you get the separation? How do you get the separation? What do you do?
It's baby steps. I think you have to consciously say, this is how we get apart. Like getting your name off of the house, getting or someone buying you out, the cars. How are you divvying up the pets? Like the first time
give me the pet.
And it was like, okay, no, this is my dog now. You don't call him about it. Like I got one of the dogs. He got one of the dogs, right? Okay. Oh, should we call your husband? No, you should call only me. Or going to a parent-teacher conference and us having to be there, and they're like, can you put both of our things on there? His dad's house, my house. That was a big deal. The backpack went to Dad's. Dad brought him to school. I don't have access to the backpack. I can't bring the backpack. That was an incident. That happened.
Damn.
I left my backpack at Dad's. Okay. I don't have a key anymore.
Yep.
I don't go there.
But that also involves responsibility, too.
Yeah, and I say those are those little highlight reels that are like, this is over. Of course, signing the paper was, that's how you get past it. But I think there's just so many little things that booking a vacation and his name is still on the Hilton points. They're like, oh, Mr. Clickle. I'm like, no, Miss, me. I did this. I booked it. The points are under his name. I don't fucking care. Give me a new one. I went to a nurse conference, and because the Hilton points were in his name, they weren't going to give me the room because he wasn't there to vouch that it was the room. I was like, I'm sorry, what?
Did you have to?
I didn't even book it with Hilton points. I just went online like I normally do.
Did you have to show your butt?
I didn't. Oh. I wasn't that kind of convention. Okay. That's the problem.
No, I'm talking about getting your room. Good one.
But I'm bummed. But yeah, I think it was really like, I think too, my son would ask me something. I was like, I don't know. That's your dad's day. He has to decide. And it was like, what? Wait, why can't, you're the parent too. You can decide. No, I can't decide for him anymore. Or he can't decide for me anymore.
And it's a huge learning curve with that.
Yeah.
For you, your ex, your kids, everybody needs to learn. It's a whole new reality.
And it's those times where it's, is your husband going, ex? No, he's not going to be here. No, that's not going to happen. Or there's some, for instance, is coming up, or his brother's daughter, niece, not on my side, but a niece that I watched be born and grow up and all the things, get married, and she's inviting me. And it's going to be like, oh, okay, wait, what? So it's like,
how you doing? Fine.
Yeah, and a lot of the people in the family have not even talked to me. They blocked me on Facebook or whatever it is, and don't reach out. But they reach out to my kids, which is all I care about. You don't have to like me or be on my side or be on my side or whatever, but be there for my kids. They're still your family. But my mother-in-law just passed away, and people were like, oh, so sorry about your mother-in-law. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. So I'll tell you a story. Tim was graduating from college up at Sioux Falls. My ex was there, and then her family came. Her sister and brother-in-law stuff came. And then I went, and my mom was there, and I took the boys. So we all met at a bar.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen these people forever. And they threw me to the curb, which was fine. And said, ex-brother-in-law comes up to me, goes, hey, Dave, how you doing? I said, it ain't that kind of party. That's all I said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-mm. This is not a reunion.
I wasn't rude.
No.
I said, it's not that kind of party.
Yeah. We're just, I need you to know that we're not here for that.
And while he's walking up to me, I saw my kids look at me like, what's gonna happen?
My entire existence, I lived next to my ex's family. Mom is next door, brothers live behind us, cousins live next door. My kids played with all their cousins all the time because we all lived in the same town. So now when I go back, my best friend still lives there and it's all his family. His mom has since passed away and she moved out here, but just recently passed away. And he doesn't go back there because our house is being rented out that we have. And I'll drive through town and I'm just like, I don't want anybody to recognize me kind of thing because I don't want to have to go, how are you doing? You didn't fucking care for the last 5 years. Why do you care now?
Just tell them. It ain't that kind of party.
Yeah.
I just gave you something.
When I was back there last time, we had this guy that would be called the mayor and he would drive around town. And everybody's not related to anybody in the town. He's related to some people in town, but not our family. And we went to the funeral and just seeing people and it really was like, oh, how are you? How's this? And those people actually talked to me more like through Facebook and social media and stuff like that than any of the family have. And I was like, I'm fine. I'm great. My kids are great. Cool.
It's almost like you could just do a quick pro quo. Yep, I'm great. How are you?
I'm good.
I'm great. And then while they're telling you how they're doing, you just fade to black.
I was like, as much as you reached out to me, that's how much I care.
It ain't that kind of party.
I think as you go, like one of the things that struck me too is about boundaries is as you go through the process, I feel like you get your confidence back because in the beginning, it's I have baggage. I'm baggage because I was married before and I had this and my parents were divorced and my story is way different.
Now, oh hell yeah.
It was then. And I think what happens is as you get more confidence, go, you know what? I healed in spite of you. I am healed in spite of you not contacting me. And we were really close when I was married, but the second I wasn't on your side or you weren't on my side, you dropped me. So my confidence was like, I don't need you. I healed in spite of your non-concern or your disconcerning or even asking how my well-being was. So that's a bigger boundary for me going, I'm great. I'm good. I'm this. Don't try to now make it better because I can be nice to anybody. Friendly to most, not friends with a lot.
I still like mine better.
Yeah. But
try that when you go back. Just you gotta hit one person with it and then wash your face.
Yeah.
Well,
and that also goes back to that emotional boundaries because these are people that were once pivotal things in your life. In-law, like sister-in-law, brother-in-law, their kids are.
But now they're not though.
But they're not. And I said, a lot of people want to bring up what happened. I'm like, that was 5 years ago. Why didn't you call me then? That was whatever. So I think too, like I have been better at going, we're great. We're actually really good friends now. We actually get along really well. Just we weren't each other's person. I am not available to talk about my past relationships because we weren't available to support me through it.
Like too much talking.
Yeah.
Too much talking. Just say.
No, I'm talking like, I know in the beginning my ex was like, you used to do this. And then I'm like, you did this. And it was back and forth. And I go, I'm no longer doing a blame game. I'm no longer engaging in arguments. I'm no longer going to boost anybody else's ego because they want an argument or, oh, well, I told her this. I told her off or whatever. I think it comes to, and again, we are humans. We are driven by our emotion. And the second you can take that emotion and set a boundary on it going, I'm not actually ready to talk about that. But if you want to talk to my ex about it, go ahead. He has his version. I don't need to tell you. If you were still in my life or stayed in my life, you would know because I talk to my family. I talk to my friends. They're a part of that for me. So
you didn't care then, why are you going to care now?
Yeah. And I think that goes into a lot of things like socially.
Wow.
The people that I lost as friends when I went through my divorce because I didn't do it the way they thought I should.
This is how we do it.
Yeah, exactly. And I was like, oh, your version of my life, it exists in your mind. And I'm okay being the villain. I'm okay being the good guy. I'm okay being the villain. But if you truly want to know my journey, you would have asked me. So
thanks for asking.
Yeah.
All right, Miss Rachel.
How do you maintain boundaries?
Oh man, I have to really step out of my comfort zone and kind of be just a little mad.
Yeah.
I
feel like there's that inner.
You gotta be like, it's almost like a push.
This is going to come to you as a shocker, but I used to cry a lot.
Yeah. Wow.
Especially when I was talking about
emotions, forgiveness, anything. No, anything. What do you mean, especially? Hell, any subject.
And I had actually consciously go, all right, don't cry today, fuck. And then I'd have to get that little anger spot. I got to get that little light on my belly going.
Yep.
I need to be clear, direct, say exactly what I want, be firm.
Without watery eyes.
And hide the tear and say, this is going to help me eventually.
When you stop crying on episodes, I almost missed it. You cried so much. Damn, she didn't cry today. Something's missing. Yeah. God, Rachel didn't cry today.
Our ratings.
We need a good cry.
Along the point of reassessing your boundaries.
We need a really good cry.
Boundaries and less strong boundaries. I got no friends because I put up all the walls and nobody's gonna love me. Maybe I have one.
You never asked about me.
Thanks for that trauma trigger. I love it.
Speaking of forgiveness.
Oh, God damn it.
So I had a guy, the same guy who I talked about.
Separation.
Separation?
Define the separation.
Oh, yeah, the first part. Separation. I asked about forgiveness. He goes, there is no forgiveness. I said, what do you mean? He said that people act the way they're going to act, and you can't fault them for it.
Yeah.
I was like, wow.
Why can't you?
You're going to say that. I'm going to blame somebody.
Why can't you
blame them?
They're a fucking asshole.
No. You have to. He was saying that he had to accept his ex for the way she is, even though she was mean to him or whatever, but he had to accept that, and there's no forgiveness.
Fuck that. You know what? I shouldn't have to.
He did not say that. We're going to have him on this show.
Ornery.
Yeah. He did not say that you have to, maybe, oh, God. I have to play it back, but I'll be ready next time. But, man, you got me flustered.
David's like, I got a good one, and I'm on.
Fuck that shit.
Let's not accept
anything.
An option anymore. Try to be kind.
Yep.
Guess what? Your fucking marriage didn't work out. Deal with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
everybody's fault.
Hey, just don't cry. Just
I'm fine.
Go ahead and snort, but don't cry. Hey, snort, but don't cry.
Okay. I feel like no, here's the thing though. With boundaries, you're not accepting it. No, you don't get to do that anymore to me. So fucking here's a wall.
But it's already done. See, the boundaries.
Who's gonna blame you?
The boundaries work for something that's coming, not something that's past.
No, because the wall, the boundary that I put up is because of something somebody did to me, and I'm tired of being shit on. Where's she been? Because she needed to come out a little bit.
Oh, man, where has she been?
Someone tell me I'm right.
Oh.
Someone tell me I'm not right, or I am right,
God.
because I'm not sure now.
Oh.
Why do you have to accept that someone broke your heart? Why do you have to accept that someone's a fucking asshole to you all the time?
Because that's what they do. That's what they do. That's what they are. And you can't sit there and say, oh, they're like right now, you're all hot and bothered because then it won't matter.
What is happening right now? What?
I don't know, but yeah. I mean, somebody's getting my or something. Oh my gosh.
It's like, Rachel, don't be sad. Whoa. What is happening, girl? Take a chill.
All right. Closing words before you start crying.
Don't make me make more boundaries because you're a fucking asshole. God damn it.
Oh my gosh.
God damn it.
Off the rails. Now, see, this is Divorce Devil, baby. This is Divorce Devil. Woo.
Yeah. Don't accept it. At some point, you should be able to say, you are an asshole, and because of your assholery, we are now divorced. It's your fault.
But it doesn't matter. At some point.
Like, after you sign the paper, it's like, I signed, I agree. You're a fucking... You should have a point at the court going, I'm going to smash something.
This should have smash rooms.
Go to your prospective thing. Divorce recovery and smash room. We're going to copyright that. We're going to do a divorce recovery smash room. Divorce Devil Smash Room.
Yes, Divorce Devil Smash Room.
And you can blame and not accept other people's shit.
All right, everybody. We hope you learned something from this one because I didn't learn anything, but man, my tickle box is going. And she is pissed. She is pissed. Yeah.
Thanks, Jeff.
Right.
I found the spark again.
Yes. Shoot.
Cinnamon.
Boundary.
Spicy.
Yeah. She's gonna boundary somebody across their forehead. All right, everybody. We love you. Be out there healing and
boundaries.
And hey,
don't accept bullshit.
You guys pray for Rachel, please. She needs to be touched. Touched by an angel or touched by something.
The devil.
Yeah, the devil.